Okay, so this is just a quick little tutorial on how to set up your character for the Roll20 games. So you would have gone into Roll20, seen your games, and you'll have one of the games that you're invited to. I'm just going to launch the test game, but before I do that, just a couple of tips for the DM. If you go into the game and into the settings, game settings, we want to make sure that a few things are check marked here. We want to allow characters to import or players to import their own characters, and we also want to use the character sheet template for Roll20. I'm going to go through building a character, half-elf bard of mine called Xavier. I've already searched Google. I found this image online of this bard, half-elf. I thought, okay, I'll use that. So we got that image because we need two sets of artwork out of it. They could be the same artwork or not. So this will be my main portrait, and then the second will be a token. Now to get a token, you're going to use token stamp 2. Is the URL. You can just Google token stamp 2, it'll bring it up. And then we're gonna upload. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this image. Right, there it is. I get to choose my border here. Let's see, something like this maybe, just so that he has a direction. So if he was, let's say, that way, it was forward. You could do something like that, and then you just download it. Simple as that. So now we've picked the images that we want, and to get these two images across to your DM, I would recommend just uploading it on Discord. Then it's the DM's turn to take over. So he's going to come over here to the journal, add a new character for you. And we're going to call that whatever your name is. Mine is Xavier. And I'm going to upload my picture. I'm also going to make sure that in players' journals, the named character, me, is going to be able to see it in their journal as well as control it. And then I might want to add a tag like this. Just so that if ever I type any of this in, I can find it quite quickly. Okay, so we've got our artwork here, we've got our tags. We make sure that the player can be controlled and in their journal. So now we save the changes, and now it should appear like this with the bio, info, character sheet, abilities and attributes in the player's journal. They'll see this little prompt here. So now the DM's job is done for now, and it's back to the player. So the player would then click these three little dots so that they can start populating the character sheet. We're going to edit this directly because it's a pre-existing character. It's more than level 1. It's actually level 4. That is 4. We can choose from the drop down here, like it's a bard. We can choose the race, but instead of typing all this out, what we're going to do is we're actually going to populate it using this icon, the compendium. So first of all, I am a bard. Okay, so I'm going to just search for bard. There it is, class bard. Drag and drop that in, and immediately it drops in my bard goodies. I know that I have bardic inspiration, ritual casting. Here are my proficiencies. So that's great. There's my saving throws automatically done. And then we're going to say what's next. Okay, I'm a half-elf. So I'm just going to start searching that. That's what I am. Half-elf races. Drag and drop. And then it'll populate some more. I have Fey ancestry, dark side. I've got some languages now. Now let's start on this side with our attributes. Okay, so I have a strength score of 8. Push 8 and enter. It's automatically going to say, okay, you got -1. 17 for my dexterity. 14 for my constitution, intelligence stays the same, 12 for my wisdom, and again 17 for my charisma. And you see how it's automatically changing everything here as well. So that's cool. Equipment. So I know that Xavier has some studded leather armor. Where is that? There we go. Just going to put that on. And you see it'll come here under my equipment tab. It also changes my armor modifier. And if we click this little info panel, we can see here's where we equip things, use them as attacks, etc. So let's say, for example, I had 2 sets of armor and I only want to wear 1. I could just unequip this one. You see it automatically makes the changes here. When I equip it, there it is. So that's also going to go for weapons. So I have a scimitar. Here. So here it's already, what is my attack modifier, what's the damage I'm doing, etc. It's equipped it. I also have a dagger. And during my quests, I picked up a +1 axe that I'm not going to use, but I am carrying. So then I just go to the little info thing. It's not equipped. It doesn't have an attack. It takes it off here. It's just in my backpack. All of that, you'll just populate the extra bits that you have. Under the bio, this is just your flavor. What do you look like, what factions, what's your backstory, etc. Spells. Spells is also nice and easy. So I know I have message, which is a spell. I just drag it into my spells slot here, and you see there already. Bang! It's on my cantrip info. It'll tell me what it does, which is great. Also, the last everything's populated here as well. The last thing we want to do is on this cog. Because I'm a bard, I have jack of all trades. You don't need to worry about all these modifiers and stuff. That doesn't really come into play. The important thing is this little section here. How are we going to do our roll? We want to never whisper our rolls. You can toggle that, but it gets a bit frustrating every time you want to roll to have to say, okay, do I want to make it a whisper or private? And we want to auto roll our crits and our damage. Sorry, not query, toggle. Because the toggle then gives us this. So when we attack, we can say, okay, we're attacking with advantage, attacking normally, attacking with disadvantage. And that's going to change the way things roll. Once everything's populated, last two things we want to do is just go into the settings here, make sure we enable our 3D dice, enable it, automatically roll it. Right next to the cog, we got these 3 things called collection, and we want to show macro quick bar. That's important because now we can simply, when we want to do attacks or initiative or anything like that, we'll just drag this out underneath our name and it'll be here. So let's just right click on it and rename it. This was my scimitar attack. Okay, and I'm gonna make it red. Then every time I just click this button, so I don't need this open, I just click this button and it automatically rolls for me. So if we go to the chat, it'll tell me what did I just do. Let me just go down to the bottom here. It automatically rolled my attack, which is a d20 plus my dexterity plus my proficiency, which equals 9. So 9 to hit. Yeah, it's probably not going to hit anything, but if it does, I do my 1d6 plus 3, which is where the 5 slashing damage comes from. Then from there, you're going to also have your token that the DM's given you. And there it is. Cool. So the DM will just put this token onto the map. Resize it to make sure that it fits in the blocks. And then double click on it. Make sure that it represents our character Xavier. Right? We can show the nameplate if we want. Usually what I do is I'll plug in the health, which we haven't put here. It just says 32, so you would capture that. So let's say 32 out of a maximum of 32. That's my health bar. What is my armor class? My armor class is 15. because I'm a bard, I'm going to use this for my bardic inspiration. And then I'm just going to save those changes, close this, and then you'll see there's my name, Xavier, because that's my nameplate. This is my token health. When I click on this, I can see what's my armor, what's my bardic inspiration. And the cool thing about this is when you're in combat, let's say you lose 12 points of damage, minus 12, enter, bang. It does the calculation and my health bar goes down. So now if we look at the advanced settings, where bar 3, we want everyone to see bar 3, because we want everyone to be able to see, alright, I'm getting damaged, maybe there's a healer in the group, he doesn't need to ask me, he can just see my health bar and automatically heal me. Okay, so he heals that 12 points of damage, I'm back to full health. Now that that's set up, the last thing that DM needs to do is just go to edit here and select the token and say use this token. Okay, save the changes. This way, when you're moving around the map and you go to a new zone or something, you just come here, you drag Xavier in, he comes in already with his stats in, set up, ready to go. This goes the same for monsters. Let's say Xavier, there's multiple of them every single time. Comes in with the same stats, same health. So that's it in a nutshell to get your automatic rolls, your health, everything. It's quite easy. You can do this with spells, initiative, everything. Cool.